I wanted to get a little bit more serious for a minute and talk a little bit more about our brother, Jimmy, and some of our fond memories. We already talked about living with him together and stuff, and but what were some of the, outside of the partying, outside of the crazy stories, outside of all that, what were some of the things that just, you know, I know some of this stuff, but like, what are some of the genuine stuff that like just showed what kind of a human being Jimmy was? Not the crazy stuff. He was a supernova, right? The brightest shining fucking star in any fucking room. Burn out too quick, obviously, but.
I got to see my friend. I don't care if he's in your band or any band. Like,
right.
he was my friend. I got to see him in one of his greatest moments ever. Is we had gone, like, at the time in the early mid 2000s, there was a club in LA called Metal School.
Yes, I remember going to Metal School.
Metal School.
At the Key Club.
Yeah, and there's now called Steel Panther. Super fun act to go see. But at the time, that was like the spot in LA where the rock shit was happening. And we would go with Tall and Jimmy, Sean, and there were times where the whole crew went, you know, and there were times where like one or two of us would go. And the Rev and his girlfriend and I and Tall went one night with just the four of us. And when we got to the door, they're like, "Oh, hey, so you guys don't have your regular booth." And they used to give Avenged Sevenfold like the booth, the spot. It was the spot that overhung the whole fucking place and was like, "Oh, the Orange County band is now in LA. They're the fucking big deal," you know. And I remember I was so mad. I was like, "Oh, who has the fucking our spot?" And I was like, "How dare you move us? Who's here?" And I'm thinking like, "Who am I gonna fight?" And then like the next thing I know, here comes Phil Anselmo and Rex from Pantera come walking in. They're like, "What's up, guys?" And they come walking in, and I was like, "Oh, God damn it."
It's them, isn't it?
It's Pantera. And it's like, "Oh, okay. Well, if it's anybody else, like, I'd be mad. It's Pantera, they can have it." And I remember they moved us to a booth behind Pantera. I was like, "That's fine, it's fine." And Metal School would bring like whatever musicians that were there on stage, and they would play, and they would like cover a song or whatever. But the guys at Metal School aren't stupid, and they know that Phil Anselmo and Rex are there. And they have them come on stage to play Walk, and you guys had just recorded the Avenged Sevenfold cover of Walk, right? That song hadn't been played live by members of that band in a long time, like 10 years. And this is like a club where it's like, you know, a lot of Bon Jovi covers, you know, "Yeah, we're halfway there." Yeah. And then it starts that, you know, and
spot on.
And I remember, so like before they started playing, Jimmy was like, "Oh, I told you fucking guys I'm not playing tonight. I'm not fucking playing. I just came to get drunk. I'm not playing this show." And I remember looking, I was like, "Oh, this is your day, right? It's not Mike Patton." Like, it's just the dudes from Pantera. It's not that big a deal. And I remember he was drinking this Heineken, and he was like, "Oh, fuck it."
Heineken.
And he's disgusting ass Heineken. And he storms on stage and he sits there. And I remember the dudes from Pantera and the guitar player from Metal School were just waiting for him and waiting and waiting. "Jimmy, are you coming?" And he's like, "I'm not doing it." I was like, "Oh, dude, who cares?" He's like, "Oh." And he goes on there and they start playing Walk, and that club explodes. People are taking the bottles and bottle service, throwing them. The club that was like the dance, like Journey cover band thing turns into a like full-on 900-person melee, right? The whole entire place, you're watching like Playboy Playmates moshing, like you've turned into full chaos.
Yeah.
Full chaos for a solid 2 or 3 minutes. And he gets off a stage, and the look on his face, he was so happy and so thrilled. And then the guys from Steel Panther are like, "Oh, yeah, anybody ready for some Journey?" And it was one of LA's rock's greatest moments. And if you were there, you're there. If you missed it, you missed it. And I remember he came back and goes, "I can't wait to tell the band they should have came with us."
And he did, because I remember that night, and I remember what happened. He tell you the fucking story.
It was legend. It was one of those legend moments, you know.
And I was bummed I wasn't there.
Also, too, like if you think about like him as a person, it does take a ton of guts to do that. Like you're just out and you're enjoying yourself, and all of a sudden you're called on to perform artistically, and not just artistically, but with the dudes who wrote the jam.
Right.
Right? Like there's not a lot of room for error there. Like you got to come and you got to crush it, whether you're 3 sheets to the wind or not. And that was this wonderful, beautiful moment he had, and I'm super stoked I got to see it.
Yeah, that's fucking cheers one to the old boy.